GTA 5 came out in 2013. It cost $265 million to make. It made that back in its first 3 days. And in 2026, 13 years later, it is still making Rockstar over $1 million every single day. That is not a typo. That is not an exaggeration. Recent data leaked from a Rockstar Games breach shows the game is still pulling in an average of $1.3 million per day from Shark Cards and the GTA Plus subscription service alone. And that is during a period when the game is essentially coasting toward the launch of GTA 6. GameSpot. The question of how a 13-year-old video game still generates $500 million a year is one of the most interesting stories in the history of entertainment. And the answer involves psychology, addiction mechanics, a subscription service nobody asked for, and one of the greatest business pivots a game studio has ever made. Let's start at the beginning. GTA 5 generated $800 million in just 24 hours after release, becoming a billion-dollar product after just 3 days. At the time, that was the fastest any entertainment product in history had ever crossed that threshold. Not a movie, not an album, not a theme park opening, a video game made by a studio in Edinburgh, Scotland, in 3 days. GameSpot. The game has now shipped 225 million copies worldwide as of December 2025, generating over $10 billion in total franchise revenue since its September 2013 launch. To put that in context, the Nintendo Switch has shipped 153 million hardware units across its entire lifetime. GTA 5 has sold 225 million copies of a single game. The game continues selling approximately 5 million copies every single quarter, more than a decade after it first released. Most games sell almost nothing after their first year. GTA 5 has never stopped selling. GameSpot Yadav Games. But the game sales are not the real story. The real story is GTA Online. When Rockstar launched GTA Online 2 weeks after the base game in October 2013, it was a disaster. Servers crashed, characters disappeared, progress was lost, players were furious. Rockstar spent weeks scrambling to fix a mode that had launched broken in front of millions of people who had been eagerly waiting for it. For a lesser studio, that launch could have been fatal to the online component entirely. Instead, it became the foundation of one of the greatest live service businesses ever built. GTA Online allowed players to exist in a shared version of Los Santos, the fictional Los Angeles at the center of GTA 5, with other players online. You could rob stores, run heists, buy properties, race cars, start businesses, and build a criminal empire. Early on, progression was deliberately slow. You earned in-game money through missions and activities. If you wanted to speed that up, you could buy Shark Cards in-game currency packs sold for real money. $10 bought you a small amount of in-game cash. $100 bought enough to make a meaningful difference in your digital criminal lifestyle. The system was simple. The psychology behind it was anything but. Rockstar understood something that casino designers and mobile game developers had known for years. The most powerful financial lever in any entertainment product is not charging people once for something. It is creating a world where people voluntarily charge themselves repeatedly to maintain status, access, and the feeling of progress. GTA Online's economy was specifically engineered to keep that loop running. New vehicles, new properties, new weapons, new businesses, all of them expensive, all of them desirable, all of them just out of reach on what you could earn through gameplay alone in any reasonable time frame. Shark Cards make up 74% of GTA Online's revenue. The remainder comes from GTA Plus subscriptions. GTA Plus is a monthly subscription service Rockstar introduced in 2022 that gives subscribers a small amount of in-game currency each month, access to certain properties and vehicles, and various bonuses. It costs $6 a month. It is controversial because it asks players who have already bought the game, possibly multiple times across multiple console generations, To pay a recurring fee for a game that is 13 years old. Players have complained about it loudly and consistently. They keep paying for it anyway. Twitch metrics. Between September 2025 and April 2026, GTA Online averaged $9.59 million per week, $1.3 million every single day. Shark cards alone accounted for around $1 million daily, while GTA Plus subscriptions added another $344,000 per day on average. GameSpot. The most profitable single week in the leaked data reached nearly $28 million. The lowest week dropped to $4.7 million. Even at its lowest, GTA Online was generating more money in a single week than most video games ever make in their entire commercial lifetime. Twitch metrics. The United States leads spending by an enormous margin with $153 million in the tracked period. The United Kingdom came in second with $25 million. Germany was third with $16 million. Twitch metrics. Now here is the detail that makes all of this even more extraordinary. A small fraction of the player base is actually spending this money. The gaming industry calls them whales, the small percentage of players who spend disproportionately large amounts. In most live service games, somewhere between 3 and 5% of the player base accounts for the majority of microtransaction revenue. The other 95% play for free or close to it. GTA Online's $500 million a year is not being generated by hundreds of millions of people spending small amounts. It is being generated by a comparatively small group of people spending very large amounts, repeatedly, over years. GameSpot. GTA 5 still maintains 18.3 million monthly active users and 4.2 million daily active players across PC, PlayStation, and Xbox platforms. Across Steam alone, the game was averaging over 83,000 concurrent players in January 2026, up nearly 7% month-over-month. A 13-year-old game growing its concurrent player count month-over-month in 2026. That is not supposed to happen. Nothing about GTA 5's continued commercial performance is supposed to happen by any conventional understanding of how game economics work. GameSpot. The reason it keeps happening comes down to three things. Rockstar has done better than almost any other studio in history. The first is consistent content updates. Rockstar has released major GTA Online updates on a semi-regular basis for 13 years. The December 2025 update called A Safe House in the Hills added new properties, new vehicles, new missions, and a new progression track. During Christmas 2025, the average revenue per paying user spiked to $68, meaning the players who spend money spent significantly more during a holiday update than they did during a regular week. Rockstar has learned exactly how to time content drops for maximum financial impact. New content creates desire. Desire creates spending. Spending funds the next update. The cycle never breaks. Twitch metrics. The second thing Rockstar did right was the re-release strategy. GTA 5 launched on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 in September 2013. It released again on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in November 2014. It released again on PC in April 2015. It released again as an enhanced edition on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X in March 2022, with a 3-month free period on PlayStation Plus that alone brought in millions of new players. Every re-release reset the new player funnel, fresh audiences discovering GTA Online for the first time, entering the economy, some of them becoming paying users. The pandemic in 2020 drove an additional 20 million copies sold in a single year. People trapped at home discovered or rediscovered a game that had been out for 7 years and found an entire living world waiting for them. GameSpot. The third thing is the culture around the game. GTA Online has sustained an entire ecosystem of content creators, YouTube channels, streaming communities, and roleplay servers for over a decade. The acquisition of 5M in 2023 brought the most popular GTA roleplay platform directly under Rockstar's umbrella, giving official backing to a community that had been generating millions of hours of streaming content independently for years. Every hour of GTA content watched on YouTube or Twitch is an advertisement for GTA Online that Rockstar does not pay for. The organic content machine feeding new players into the funnel has run continuously since 2013 and shows no signs of stopping. Take-Two's recurrent consumer spending, their term for microtransaction income, accounted for 78.1% of the company's $5.35 billion net revenue in fiscal year 2023. A publicly traded entertainment company with a multi-billion-dollar annual revenue is dependent on a single 13-year-old game for the majority of its income. That is an extraordinary and somewhat terrifying business reality. It is also why GTA 6 carries the weight it does, not just for gaming fans, but for investors, analysts, and Take-Two's entire corporate future. GameSpot. GTA 5 achieved a return on investment of over 36 times its original $265 million production budget. No film franchise, no television series, no other video game has ever come close to that kind of return from a single product. The closest comparison in entertainment is Star Wars, and that required Disney spending $4 billion to acquire an entire studio to replicate it. Yadev Games. Rockstar spent $265 million once, and then collected over $10 billion over 13 years from a world they built in that investment. Every dollar that came after the first 3 days was profit built on top of profit built on top of profit. GTA 6 releases November 19, 2026, and when it does, GTA Online's 13-year run as Rockstar's primary revenue engine will finally have a successor. But do not assume that means GTA 5 stops making money. Rockstar has never shut down an online service. GTA Online will continue running alongside GTA 6 Online for years. The players who have invested thousands of hours and hundreds of dollars into their Los Santos lives are not going to abandon them immediately just because a new game exists. The machine Rockstar built in 2013 was not designed to have an off switch, and 13 years of evidence suggests it does not have one.